Hello guys, welcome back to my reaction channel. Today we're going to again be doing something different. We're going to be doing a review to the first season of Naruto. And I was thinking, what can I do for an intro? And then I remembered you guys complaining that you're always only seeing the upper half of my body. So for this intro I was like, yo, I'm gonna get my legs. And don't think that I didn't see the comments on my videos where I actually show my legs. The ones like, wait, Lucky has legs? So yeah, Lucky has legs too. Now let's see what these babies can do. Let's go! We're going to be reacting. Actually not reacting today. We are going to be doing a review. I'm back home, guys, as you can see. So I'm gonna have to do a review from here. Look at the beauty. Now let's jump right into this, literally. I'm just kidding. Hello guys, welcome back to my reaction channel. Today we're again going to be doing something different. First off, I'm gonna give you a little announcement just so you guys know what's happening here, because I am seeing all the comments and you guys thinking, why doesn't he start Shippuden already? Is he messing with us? And no guys, that's not the case. And yes guys, as you can clearly see, you're getting the upper part of my body again through the entire video. So don't complain if I'm a bit ugly. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, come on. Anyway, after the clarification of the first part, we're going to be doing a discussion video on the first season of Naruto, guys. That's right. I'm sorry if I'm a little effed up. I just woke up and yes, immediately continued to make content for you guys. So first off, I was sitting here today thinking, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna make this review? And I figured I ain't gonna get nowhere if I just contemplated about the show and then just wrote down my thoughts and memorize all of it. So I was like, let's just turn on the camera and wing it. Sure, I might not be able to remember all that I want to say about the first season because there's a lot I would like to say, guys. But hey, if I don't do it like this, it's gonna take me 100 years to make this video, and to be honest, I gotta make it now, because if I don't, I never will. And I have to make it now because I'm already getting hate mail from you guys for not studying Shippuden yet, because apparently some of you guys actually take me having a life personally. Let me just tell you this quick story of how amazingly crazy you guys are. Like a minute ago, a guy left a comment on one of my videos. It was about Tsunade. It was the one where Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Jiraiya were like fighting it out, and it was actually, I think, the first time we saw Tsunade summoning like that slug. And in my reaction, I remember saying, whoa, that's kind of, you know, the slug is kind of slimy and disgusting. And the guy, one of you guys, actually commented on that video saying, bruh, you actually mistook that slug for your face, because that's what's really disgusting here. The slug is amazing. Did you hear that, guys? The slug is amazing. And man, if you're listening to this, the guy that commented that, bro, you're a complete legend. You roasted me like a G, bro. I was laughing my ass off, man. Like, I always appreciate a good joke, especially if it's in my expense. So man, if you're watching this, I mean, you're probably not, because I don't know in what way you left that comment. Was it as a joke or did you genuinely hate my reaction to it? But nonetheless, man, thanks for the laughs. I never take that seriously. And yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys are amazing, man. Like, even when you hate me, you make me laugh, man. Man, thanks for the laughs, guys. As far as the announcement goes, here it is. Our president actually declared a state of emergency yesterday because of the whole coronavirus thing. It's still not that serious here, but it's one of those better to be safe than sorry things. So we're kinda gonna be bound to our homes. As you can clearly see, I am not in Belgrade anymore. I'm back home with my folks. I'm kind of figuring out this situation with them. So I'm probably gonna be staying here with them for a period of time, which means I'm going to have to do Shippuden reactions from here, because I haven't started Shippuden yet, guys. You might think I'm way ahead and I'm just teasing you guys and not giving you videos. No, I genuinely didn't start Shippuden. And you might think, oh, he doesn't care. I do, man. I am so excited about Shippuden, but I've been just having problem after problem because I came here for like 2 days to figure this thing out with my folks, and then the president declared a state of emergency, and now we're not gonna be able to move that much from town to town, so I'm gonna have to stay here. But the problem is, I didn't bring my equipment with me, so like you can see, I don't have good lighting, but yeah, this is nature helping me out, you know? Still doesn't look that bad. I mean, the hoodie helps. Anyway, I've been having these issues, you know, and yes, I'm going to do reactions, and yes, Shippuden is gonna start in 2 to 3 days. I'm just figuring things out, sorting it out, you know, because this corona thing is getting serious by the day. And you know, I'm gonna try to keep the schedule, but if something happens, I'm gonna inform you guys. So yeah, now that I said this, Shippuden will start in probably 3 days if this whole corona thing doesn't fuck up my schedule. But as always, I'll try to keep the schedule as it is. I'll do everything in my power, guys. So stop leaving comments such as, when are you gonna start Shippuden? I already told you this, nothing changed. I told you this in my first announcement, and now I'm saying it again in 3 fucking days. And don't be surprised if I start my reactions from here, from this room, because like I said, the whole country's been grounded because apparently we've been naughty and our president doesn't like it. And now we're pretty much chain cuffed to our beds, being forced to take a leave of absence to kind of figure out our life and contemplate our behavior. Now, with all that being said, let's get back to the review. Now, as most of you already probably know if you watched my earlier videos, I didn't start Naruto willingly. My friends kind of made me, and after a certain period of time, I decided to indulge them. All while thinking the whole situation and experience is gonna be a bust. I actually thought the show was gonna suck, because in my head, there was no way there's a show that can rival Dragon Ball. But surprise, surprise, guys, I quickly turned around and fell in love with this show. So now, I'm gonna talk about the parts that really made me fall head over heels in love, man. Seriously. This show has such amazing parts, I really don't know where to begin. So I guess I'm gonna have to start from the beginning. Right, guys? You never read a book from back to front. I mean, I guess there must be one person on the planet that did that once in his life, but that guy's great! Now, I'm gonna do a thorough review on what I've watched so far, which is the first season of Naruto. So that is the main theme of this pending video, guys. Now, the show started by introducing this fun-loving protagonist, this uplifting kid who's really having fun and who really seemed to enjoy vandalizing Konoha's property. But then, the overall tone of the show quickly changed, and we quickly learned about his dark past, not having any parents, him being in the center of everybody's hate and fear. This was a bit confusing to me at first, but of course the show quickly explained the reasoning behind this, and of course with the help of some of you guys who've been with me from the very beginning, appreciate that, by the way. I quickly understood what actually happened. Naruto, this seemingly joyous and happy kid, was from a very young age made into a hero by the 4th Hokage, as I understood it. But for some strange reason, the leaders or the elders of the village didn't really want anybody to know what really happened that day. Even I still don't understand the reasoning behind their decision, but hey, I guess they know what they were doing, and I hope they explain it in Shippuden further on, because they really made it hard for Naruto. Apparently this fox demon that was seemingly terrorizing the village was sealed into this young boy. Keep in mind that he was just a baby when this happened, so he didn't really have a choice. But instead of being praised as a hero, this secret the village elders kept from everybody quickly turned the whole village against Naruto. The way I see it, the fear of this fox demon thing letting loose on the village again was too great and too overwhelming for the simple villagers of Konoha, guys. So the hate and fear grew strong, and they kinda shunned Naruto, to be honest. They really didn't even give this boy a chance, and that broke my heart, guys. Like, from the very beginning I was like, what? I really thought that this was gonna be an uplifting show, you know, full of motivation, and it is, but it has everything, and that's what made me fall in love with it even more. Guys, it's a perfect combination of sad and happy and goofy, and it has everything. And you guys already know my uptake on it because you've seen the reactions. I'm getting hyped all the time. I'm crying all the time. I'm all over the place, guys. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that should tell you everything you need. But since I'm doing a review, I'm gonna continue. Now, Naruto had to grow up in this environment. Now, when I really think about it, for the most part, Naruto seems, kind of simple, even dumb, and, goofy most of the time. But that's not always the case. Like in real life, we suck at some things, and in some things, we thrive. And this also applies to Naruto. Like we saw, he kind of sucks at school because he's not really motivated to study and he doesn't really care about it. So I get it, I completely get it. But we quickly learn that Naruto is great on thinking on his feet. He's also unpredictable and has a crazy imagination, which he proved by doing his unique jutsu that he later on taught to Konohamaru. Of course, I'm talking about none other than the sexy jutsu. Where is that jutsu? I miss that jutsu. He hasn't used that jutsu in a long time, and as we all know, it works on everybody. Even Hiruzen, RIP bro, even Hiruzen said that that's a tricky jutsu. Like, it's so goofy and unpredictable that it actually might have worked on him as well. And Hiruzen is no joke, guys. So I want them to bring that jutsu back. It was very unique, it was very goofy, but at the same time, it did the job. So hey, is there a better jutsu than that? I don't think so. And plus, you get a great visual, don't you guys? And of course, we always enjoy a bit of Jiraiya drooling over a boy Naruto in a girl's body, which is kind of strange, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, when you think about it, it's low-key funny, ain't it? Anyway, when you combine all of those traits, you get the #1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja that is Naruto. And guys, I really love that nickname Kakashi Sensei gave him in the Zabuza arc when he arrived to save Sasuke from Haku. You know, all those smoke bombs and everything. You know the entrance, you remember it, because I do, when he arrived like a badass with those smoke bombs, and Zabuza was like, who is that? What is that? And Kakashi was like, that's our #1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja. Naruto's here, guys. And then just when we get hyped as hell thinking Naruto's here to save us, he carefully sneaks into Haku's jutsu and everybody immediately start face palming, including me. Like, even Kakashi said, Naruto, you sneak up on your enemy, not your allies, because he snuck up on Sasuke and he was like, yo man, I'm here to help you. And he was like, what? Are you retarded? Nevertheless, guys, I really enjoyed those scenes, but I'm not gonna jump on ahead. We still have a lot of ground to cover, so let's continue. Aside from this, we also learn that Naruto is very perceptive for his age, because he quickly realizes that people are looking at him kind of funny, kind of strange, with disgust. He actually takes the time to emphasize those eyes. He actually goes on ahead and uses that later on as well. So he was very perceptive. He knew that something was wrong, but he just had to live with it. He had to live with the fact that for some strange reason, the whole village and all the elders, all the guys that should have been there for him, should have helped him, because he didn't have anybody. Everybody was looking at him funny, keeping their kids away from him, preventing their kids from playing with him. And Naruto felt that. Naruto felt that something was wrong, but he just had to live with it. Because, can you imagine that, guys? Can you even imagine the fact that you simply see that something's wrong, but you just can't figure it out? He didn't know, guys. He didn't know why. Why does everybody hate him? Why does everybody look at him with such disgust and fear? And like he's a little demon, and he was just young. Even he didn't know about what's inside him. He learns that later on, and man, that's just sad to see, He really had it tough. But then later on we learned that everybody had it tough, so that kind of softens it up a bit, I guess. But hey man, this world of theirs, it's crazy. I'm enjoying the hell out of it, but it's just literal hell for them. So like I said, people were looking at him through a different lens, kind of with despair and disgust and fear, and he just had to live with it. Now that I think about it, him actually living through all of this in these hard conditions and, you know, with these people, actually gave him another unique ability, and that is, we learn later on, that is to be able to sense and understand others that have also been through harsh and rough environments, and you know, so that's another great ability Naruto has, to kind of seek out and recognize someone else in pain, in need, someone like him, which he later on of course used on some amazing new characters such as Neji and Gaara and so on and so forth, guys. Like, man, I just thinking about it gives me the goosebumps, guys. Just thinking about it, like, just those scenes were done so perfectly, so perfectly. Moving on, after all of this, there was that scroll thing. Naruto was tricked into stealing that sacred scroll. He was promised one thing, it turned out to be another. But just as we think he overdid it a bit, none other than Iruka swoops in and saves him, guys. Someone who actually becomes like a father figure to him later on. I mean, that's how I see him, because in the ending of the first season, they were kind of eating ramen. Iruka was looking at him all proud, like, and even Naruto said when he sees Iruka, he kind of contemplates and thinks that maybe that's how it feels to have a dad, and when he sees Sasuke, that might be how it feels to have a brother, to have that bond connection, which is, man, it was heartbreaking to hear that speech. I'm not gonna lie, it was Jesus Christ. The writers of this show were crazy, man. They were crazy talented. They were in their emotions when they wrote this. They understand human nature, man. They understand people. Also, the scene where Naruto is hiding behind a tree while listening to Iruka Sensei spitting his guts out about Naruto, how he believes in him, how Naruto is not like everybody says, how he really cares about him, how they were actually similar when Iruka was young, you know? And Naruto, listening to all of this, of course he started to cry and weep, and I actually had the same reaction the second time I watched it. The first time, I just simply wasn't ready, guys. I wasn't ready for it, but the second time when I rewatched the episode, I was bawling out. I was like, wow, man, I have no words. No, I still don't have any words, man, for it. That scene, that was everything, guys. That was everything. Seeing Naruto actually hear someone say that they believe in him, that they understand him, that he's actually a good, kind-hearted boy. Guys, the impact of those words. Naruto was falling out crying, and man, it just hit different. This guys. All brought tears to Naruto's eyes, and this is actually where the show picks up for me, because Naruto actually demonstrates his unbelievable potential by creating 1,000 shadow clones, something he couldn't do before that, which just proves how unpredictable Naruto is. And now when I look back at it, this was actually the first time they showed us that when it comes to Naruto and somebody attacking someone he actually loves and cares for, nothing is impossible, guys. Nothing. He of course continues on to save Iruka in a superhero fashion, and the first episode finishes with a bang, guys, with a bang. And yes, guys, I was surprised too, because most of this, if not all, actually happened in just one episode, the first episode. And that's pretty much where I got hooked, because I really wasn't expecting the show to be so epic, but man, they started slow by him having fun around the village, everybody, you know, chasing him, and he really made him look all like fools except Iruka, because I think he was the one who caught him, but you know, hiding behind that wall thing, like camouflage, whatever that was. But you know, the show quickly picked up. Like the other half, the first episode was so sad. Like the first episode was all over the place, just like the whole first season, to be honest. So yeah, I quickly fell in love with it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't like an instant wow, but I was interested. I was hooked. I was like, let's watch another one. Let's do it. I'm interested, you know? You guys got my attention. I hope this continues like this. And it did. And it did, guys. And it, oh my god, it just kept rising and rising and rising. I was like, hey man, stop, man, stop! And it just didn't stop, and my mind was blown a couple of hundred times, and wow, wow, it made my days better. It quickly became literally the highlight of my day to watch Naruto with you guys, and I'm so grateful to my friends and to you guys for making me do this, because man, this is one hell of an experience, and it just brightens everybody's day up. So yeah, I get excited just by thinking about the show, and so far, is it any wonder that I fell in love with this show so much? No. Now, like I said, after all of this, the show quickly picks up and we get introduced to a whole bunch of new characters that quickly turn around and become my favorites. Like, I pretty much love them all. I really do. Like, there's just every character has its own thing, you know, and I love that about this show. They really took their time with all the characters, you know. Like, I understand you guys have been telling me that some characters aren't getting as much of a spotlight as they should have, but that's exactly why I watched all the fillers, guys. Some of them on my own time, some of them on the channel, and most of you hate me for it, but I don't care, because I got to experience some character development from some characters that I normally wouldn't, because in the main story they kind of get slept on, and also I get to see numerous ways they intertwine each character with another, like Ino, Shino, like Ino, Shino. If I continue rhyming, we can go on balling with the ring. What am I talking about? I'm just kidding, guys, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, guys, there are actually a whole bunch of reasons why I enjoyed the fillers as much as the main story. Sure, there's kind of less action, but I get other kicks from it, you know? Some things that I might not get in the main story. Nonetheless, let's continue on ahead, because we've basically just covered the beginning and I have already been talking for an hour. Now, after the first episode, like I said, new characters come into play, and the second episode, I actually think Konohamaru was introduced to us, and boy, that was one hell of an introduction. He went in like a G, actually trying to take out his own grandfather, who was actually the chief of the village. Guys, let that sink in. He's the actual chief of the village, the actual Hokage, the toughest one, the toughest ninja of them all at the moment, and this little kid is actually trying to kill him, and it's his own grandfather. Man, I thought the first time I saw it, I was like, this kid is crazy, but later on we learned that he has the same dream as Naruto, and he just saw his gramps as, you know, a rival. He was like, I have to take the old man down in order to get that throne. And I appreciate the passion, not gonna lie. So he quickly meets Naruto, and boy, was that something. Cause Konohamaru, being the way he is, being Hiruzen's grandchild, and you know, his grandpops is the chief of the village, he's gotten used to a certain way, you know, people interacting with him, praising him. Oh, honorable grandson, he continues on telling us this. But when he met Naruto, he was kind of, you know, pricky about it. He was cocky, he was like, I'm above you. But as we all know, Naruto didn't grow up like everybody else. He was tough. He was toughened up by all the hate, by all the sorrow, by the fact that he had to do everything alone. So he didn't take none of that. The first chance he got to whoop Konohamaru's behind, he took. I think it was something along the lines of Konohamaru telling him, do you know what, Am? This man is my grandfather. And he continued on thinking, yeah, that's right. Now he's gonna back down like everybody else. And Naruto actually continued on and said, I don't care if he was your grandmother. And he slapped the living crap out of him. And that was something, because Konohamaru really needed that. Because after that, he quickly deserted his trainer and his gramps and went on ahead to try to make Naruto train him. And they quickly formed this beautiful bond that ended by Konohamaru declaring that they're gonna be rivals from now on. And man, I just got goosebumps just by thinking about it. we got an amazing speech. That was one of the first Naruto speeches I got introduced to when Naruto continued on explaining to Konohamaru that becoming Hokage isn't as easy as Konohamaru thinks it is. It's hard work, it's determination, guys. It's being the best you can be, the best ninja, the best person, the best ever. And this is man, goosebumps all over. I don't even need this show. I can just think about it and just get chills. That's how good this show is. You know, and that's really where Naruto shows us how mature he is. Yeah, sure, 24/7 he's goofy, he's dumb, he looks, you know, he's goofy. But what's in here is pure and mature, guys, because those words, he perfectly understood what he needed to do to get where he wants to go, and he was willing to put in that work. And after that speech, you can actually vividly and literally see the character development in Konohamaru. Those words got to him. He quickly turned his back to Naruto and declared that they're gonna be rivals from now on, that his Gramps isn't the only one who's his obstacle to becoming Hokage. He acknowledged Naruto as his rival as well, and they formed this sort of student-teacher bond because Naruto actually taught him the sexy jutsu in that episode, guys. Can you imagine that? Naruto actually created his own unique jutsu and passed it down to somebody else, and he accomplished all of that at that very young age. What have you accomplished? Nothing! Nothing! You can't compare to Naruto. Nobody can. I can. You can. Nobody can. I'm getting a little too excited here, guys, just thinking about this show. Anyway, let's continue on ahead. We're still at the very beginning, guys, because I think what came up next was actually the episode where Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto get called into the same squad, and we quickly find out about two other main characters, being Sakura and Sasuke, and their sensei, Kakashi. So that was kind of interesting to me, to be honest, because the way they introduced them, me thinking back on it right now, because I actually rewatched most of these episodes, especially my favorite ones, so I can do a better review for you guys. So thinking back on it, I'm thinking it was kind of strange the way they introduced the characters, because like when you're new to the show like I was, and you see Sakura drooling like completely, they didn't hold back on that. Like she was in the beginning, she was drooling all over Sasuke without any pre-context. Like every girl in the village was drooling over Sasuke. So I kind of took it at face value in the beginning. I was like, girl, like, are you really this thirsty? What the hell? But later on, we find out that she really loved him. She was really in love with him. It was pure. And I learned to respect it. You know, I understood her. I started seeing it from her point of view. But in the beginning, they really made her look like, you know, she was drooling all over him, but she wasn't the only weird one. Like, it's weird how Naruto was the most normal of the bunch. Like, Sasuke, do you remember Sasuke? At the beginning, he was like standing like this, introducing himself. He's like, I wanna murder a certain someone. Like, if a kid said that in real life, he wouldn't be getting all the attention from the ladies. He'd be getting the attention from a psychiatric hospital. Like, come on, man. A kid declaring that his one and only dream is to kill somebody, no matter who it is. Like, that's just not normal. But in their world, it is. And we quickly learned that because Kakashi didn't even flinch by listening to all of this. And of course, one of the comedic bits was Kakashi actually giving them an example how to introduce themselves and managing not to say anything about himself in the process. He was like, my dream? I don't feel like telling you about that. Like, come on, man, what the hell? Nevertheless, they got through it. We got introduced to the main cast, and it was epic. Now, about Kakashi, he was also portrayed kind of strangely, because at the beginning, believe it or not, I kind of had mixed feelings about him. At one point, I remember thinking he might be some villainous type, because he was always gloomy, and he had that tone, like deep tone, like, you disobeyed me, you know? And with that test, with the bells and everything, and Iruka at the same time dramatically talking to the third about how he didn't pass a single student beforehand, you know, and they really gave him this villainous vibe. And I was like, yeah, this guy's a villain in disguise for sure, you know, because I always look at the show and try to like look further on, like beyond, like theorize and catch something before they tell me, because it makes it more exciting for me. But boy, was I wrong. But they really kept with that persona to the very end, till the minute he actually passed them, and then the overall tone changed. Do you remember that? When, man, I just remembered, like when Naruto was tied down for trying to eat the food beforehand, and Kakashi actually gave them another chance to pass, you know, talking all about teamwork, you know, giving them the epic speech and everything, and he went on ahead, leaving them all alone. Do you remember who was the first one to give Naruto his food? It was Sasuke. So when you think about it, Sasuke is actually the one who showed us that he cared. Maybe not in the way that we wanted to, but he cared about the teamwork. He was the first one that wanted them all to work together. And then Sakura followed quickly after. She gave Naruto her food, and Kakashi went in like a G again, like dark, gloomy, clouds, lightning. He looked like he was gonna murder them, no cap. But he quickly changed, and that beautiful Kakashi smile that I still look at like a sad smile. He was like, you passed. And the overall tone of the whole episode changed. The clouds passed. It was a bright day again, and Kakashi continued on to deliver an amazing speech about friends and not leaving them behind. And I don't quite remember the sentence, but it was I remember it being very epic. I might actually do a video on my favorite catchphrases and sentences in season 1 Naruto, because man, there were a lot, and a lot of them stuck with me. That's how good they were, man. So I might do that if I have the time, because like I said, I have this whole corona situation in my country. But nonetheless, let's continue further on, guys. After this, our boys, our squad continues on to go on missions, and they actually complain, and by they I mean Naruto, of course. He complains to the third that he wants a tougher mission, and Hiruzen actually delivers, but he over delivers because he underestimates the rank of the mission, and they went on ahead to the land of waves, I think, escorting this old man who seemed fishy to me from the very start, because he was drunk, he was talking shit, he didn't have any regard for the fact that he's talking to ninjas. They're actually doing him a service, and you know, it was something was fishy from the very start. But this was actually the first time I think we saw Naruto and the squad leave the village, and it was an epic moment. We quickly learned that they were followed by two strange men with masks that looked cool AF to me, and they attacked, and that's the first time they actually tripped me into thinking Kakashi's dead. Because the way they did the scene with the chains and breaking Kakashi in half, it gave me a small stroke. I was like, what the hell? I just learned to love this character, and they killed him off like that. And I was like, no way, this show is this dark? Come on, what? Of course, our boys in Sakura were left alone, unprotected, having to actually still be bodyguards for this old man. These children, I remember screaming at the screen, they're children, and you guys keep screaming back in the comments, it's a ninja world, it's normal, and it actually took some time for me to reprogram my brain into thinking this was actually normal, you know. But I remember Naruto choking here and choking bad. Sasuke actually had to swoop in and save him and Sakura, and of course when shit hit the fan, Kakashi swooped in an amazing fashion and took those guys out with ease. And this was actually the first time I figured out the fact that this show likes to troll with us, and the writer of this show is the biggest troll of them all, because this wasn't the first time they did this to me, and this wasn't the first time I fell for it. So continuing on further, we see that Gato actually paid this criminal to take out the bridge builder, and those lackeys that Kakashi took out were nothing compared to this guy, because when this guy swooped in, man, the guy was flying on a sword, the sword picked up and hit the tree, and he appeared all badass like. Of course, from the behind, looking like crazy as a, you know, and Kakashi was actually shook. This was the first time Kakashi was shook. He was like, Zabuza. And the guy knew him back because he was Kakashi the copy ninja. And this is when we get introduced to the Sharingan, guys. Yes, I remember being so confused. If it wasn't for some of you guys in the comments, Bree-san, shout out to you. She was actually one of you guys who was with me from the very beginning, and I think she explained that that wasn't an actual scar on his eye, because I actually thought he had a scar on his eye when he, you know, removed his headband showing us the Sharingan. I was like, what the hell? Who scratched this guy's eye out? But no, it was a Sharingan. And of course, we got amazing fighting sequences after this. Kakashi copying every move Zabuza made, getting into Zabuza's head. It was all epic. It was all amazing, guys. And actually, this was where the show really picked up for me, because the Zabuza Haku arc was one of the most emotional arcs for me, guys. This was when they actually made me cry on screen for the first time. I just couldn't hold it in, guys. I was like, what? Like, the first time I watched the episode, I was bawling out. I couldn't believe that Haku was gone, and man, the 19th episode, I think that one killed me, guys. That one killed me. But this arc had such amazing moments, and still to this day, I finished the first season, the whole first season, guys. 220 episodes, and the Zabuza arc remains in my top 2. I think that the first one would be the Chunin exam arc, because that arc was insane, and the third place would go to probably the final arc. I'm not sure. I might do a video on that as well, like favorite arcs, explaining why and when, and you know, but I just don't have the time right now, because like you can clearly see, I like the details, and I pick up on the details, and I remember the details, and just by trying to review the whole season is gonna take me like 2 days to talk about everything, because man, I remember a lot, and I just can't get past some of the moments without mentioning them. And there are just a lot of great moments, guys. And I know you guys understand me, because most of you, I feel your heart. You're like me, you know. You're like me. You're enjoying this show. You're enjoying me enjoying the show. You're enjoying watching me enjoy the show. We're all a big family. I'm not gonna talk about the Zabuza arc that much, because I literally remember it vividly, and if I would talk about it in every arc, it would literally take me hours to talk about each arc. So I might do that separately. Tell me in the comments if you would like to hear that, my thoughts on that. But nevertheless, guys, we're gonna go on ahead. I'm just gonna mention this: the ending of the Zabuza arc, when Haku dies and actually swoops in and saves Zabuza, and dies by getting pierced by none other than Kakashi, and then Zabuza standing there, man. This is gonna bring tears to my eyes just by thinking about it again. I got chills, like, you know, man. Zabuza actually standing there, all, you know, seemingly proud and not being affected by any of it, and Naruto started crying and shouting and delivered that epic speech, and then just when you think that Zabuza's heartless, the tears, guys, the tears, and that epic moment when Zabuza said, man, your words cut deep, deeper than any blade. I remember it vividly. That was everything, guys. That was the moment I cried my eyes out, and I'm about to cry again. Jesus Christ, that was such a powerful scene. And then Zabuza continuing on and killing Gato, going after the whole crowd that Gato gathered, those goons, and slashing everybody, and just, you know, getting pierced in the back, but that didn't stop him from taking revenge for Haku. He actually said something, I believe, something along the lines like, what a fitting end for a demon of the mist, you know. And then I remember that slow walk, him injured trying to get back to Haku, and it started snowing. He said that Haku was as pure as snow, and he man, Jesus Christ, he said that he wished, like, he knew it was impossible, but he wished he could go to the same place that Haku went. Man, guys, Kakashi picking him up and laying him down right next to Haku. That was such, man, the whole arc was such it was so well done, guys. The emotions at the end, it was, wow, it was something else. And I'm gonna continue on because, like I said, I could talk for hours about the best parts of this arc and how it impacted me. But we still have a lot of ground to cover, so let's just continue on ahead. I'm sorry, guys. Tell me in the comments if you want me to talk more about it. But as for now, and before we continue, I also need to mention that the Zabuza arc is the first time we see Naruto in his enraged, kind of unstable state. By seeing Sasuke die and thinking he's actually dead, he went on ahead and lost control, and we actually saw his hidden potential. And actually, that was the moment I started to understand the villagers, because that was insane. Can you imagine if that let loose on the city? But you know, Naruto managed to kind of suppress it, keep it inside. I guess that seal helped the fourth put on him. So yeah, but I understand the fear, because that was devastating. Like, that fox demon thing was insane. The way he took out Haku with ease, shattering his man. I don't want to get into it because, like I said, I'm just gonna ramble on for like 2 hours just about that arc. Continuing on ahead, one of my favorite arcs, of course, the tuning exams. Man, we get introduced to even more great characters that continue on to become one of my favorites, like Gaara, man, Kankuro, Temari, man, Lee, Neji. Come on, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was the best arc. Orochimaru, man. We get introduced to one of the most powerful characters in this show so far, and my favorite, my personal favorite, Orochimaru. But we're gonna talk about it when we get to it. First off, I think we get introduced to Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro because they get into the village, and damn, man, that character development is crazy. Because the first moment that they get introduced, the way Kankuro speaks to Sasuke, Naruto, and Temari, she was also being like bitchy, and Gaara was actually the normal one between them. But of course, we quickly learned that Gaara is the most unstable creature we would ever meet anywhere, like period. He's still the most unstable person on the show, like back then, not now. Now he's one of the most normal ones, which is surprising to me. I am amazed of his character development right now. But the beginning, when they showed his crazy side, man, I almost pooped my pants the first time he went all crazy on us. Jesus Christ. But nonetheless, the tuning exams were amazing. There were actually several stages. The written test was awesome. First off, I think Lee kicked Sasuke's ass. The moment when Sasuke was all cool, like activating the Sharingan, and was like, I'm gonna clobber you, and then Lee continued on kicking him in the face with ease. I remember thinking, this guy is gonna be the most powerful guy of them all, and he did not disappoint. The Gaara Lee fight is my top 3 fights in the whole first season, guys. That fight was everything. That was actually the part where I got so damn hyped about the show that I just couldn't stop watching. Like, I was hooked for life. And man, but before that, we had a written exam that was awesome because we got to see the ingenuity of all the characters, how to cheat and everything. And I just gotta say, it was a dope concept, man. It was a dope concept. The way that test was orchestrated, you know, you have to cheat to pass, but they didn't say it flat out. The actual part of the test was the fact that you needed to figure out that you need to cheat. And man, come on, you can't tell me that's not a dope concept. Continuing on ahead, the next stage was the Forest of Death, and this was, man, that was everything. We meet my boy Orochimaru there, and this guy went in like a G. And of course, we quickly learned that not a single scene with Orochimaru cannot go on without a punishment, without a death. And he actually took the bodies of those grass ninja and he became a woman. And then he peeled his face off, and a whole bunch of things happened. Like, amazing. Of course, Sasuke again showed us how smart he is by creating that password and quickly realizing that first that guy with a snorkel, then Orochimaru. Sasuke quickly realized that somebody was trying to infiltrate their team, and he didn't let him. But of course, he quickly learned that Orochimaru ain't somebody you should wanna mess with. And man, there were some epic scenes in that fight. The way Sasuke overcame fear with pain by stabbing himself, saving Sakura, then went on ahead into this shaken up fear state. Then Naruto kicking the living crap out of that snake with creating 1,000 shadow clones, making it pop like a balloon, coming in, getting all enraged, trying to kick Orochimaru's ass, but with no luck. Orochimaru actually took him out with ease even in that state. Then Sasuke gathered up some guts and continued on to give us an amazing battle between Orochimaru and himself. Of course, that wasn't enough because we quickly learned who Orochimaru is, one of the Sannin. He was actually one of the most wanted at that point, still is a wanted criminal, a wanted known criminal that everybody feared, even the Hokage. So yeah, that was strange. I was like, what the hell is this show turning into, guys? Because it became dark quick, and I was like, wow, man, this is different. So yeah, the overall tone of the show switched yet again, and I still enjoyed it. The way he went in, or man, do I really need to explain why he became one of my favorite characters? I mean, the favorite character of this show so far, because he's such an amazing character. Orochimaru is such a menacing, powerful villain who appeared early on in this brief moment, but showcased his power very quickly, and like he disposed of Sasuke. Naruto gave Sasuke the curse mark, all while laughing, having fun in his disgusting snakish sun kind of way, like hugging the trees with his body, bending space. Like, that guy was insane. And then he went on ahead trying to mate with a tree. Uncle pulled him out of it, and then he continued to flatten her as well and delivered the most epic line that made me shake to my core. He actually told her, if anybody does anything to deprive me of my fun, it would mean the end of the Leaf Village. And I remember sitting in my chair thinking, can this guy really deliver on that promise? What the hell? And then they switched to the scene where Hokage says that he could, because he is a G, man. He's just so powerful that you know. And wow. So the next stage was them fighting it all out, you know. And gotta be honest, those fights were amazing. We got a lot of backstories. I really enjoyed the Ino and Sakura fight, their determination, and then we actually learned more about them with the flashbacks. And you know, I love her character because she's not from any clan, guys. She doesn't have a hidden power, hidden potential. She needs to do everything on her own. And we need to appreciate that a bit more, because when you think about it, we're more like Sakura than you think. Like, who amongst us has a demon fox inside of him that gives him enormous power? Who is the Riot from one of the ancient clans with the Sharingan that makes him the most powerful in the room as soon as he enters? Nobody. We all have a bit of Sakura in us, because we all need to put in that work to get where we want to get. And I'm so proud of her that at the end of this season, she's actually doing just that, and I hope she delivers in Shippuden. Some of you guys in the comments have been telling me that she will, and I can't wait to see her kick some ass, because it's been a long time coming, guys. It's been a long time coming. But anyway, in this part of the exam, we get a variety of characters. Neji versus Hinata is another shout out. Seeing Hinata's determination, her backstory, man, and actually seeing Neji's side, his cruel side, his you know, that was wow. I remember being so confused because man, Neji was one of my favorites from the very beginning. The moment I first saw those eyes and that sense of his, I was like, I was gay for a second, man. That was amazing, Jesus Christ. I love Neji, I still do, and actually hearing his full backstory in the fight against Naruto, that was everything, guys. I quickly understood his character and why he was the way he was against Hinata, and his character development is also insane and crazy, and I love him even more now. So After the Gara versus Lee fight, where I lost all hope for humanity in this show, because Lee, the gift of perseverance, the gates, the put in work, that backstory was everything, guys. It made me cry. The man that talks between Guy and Lee, I loved them so much, man. I still do. I love their characters. They're uplifting, they're hyperactive, they're motivating, they have everything I need in a character. And there are such similar characters like Naruto, Guy, Lee. They have the same personality, the same uplifting, motivational hype that I need in my life. And I need more characters like that. But Gaara actually crushing his dreams by crushing his legs and arms. And then we learned, like, that fight was insane. It was like, Gaara's gonna win, no, Lee's gonna win, no, Gaara's gonna win, no, Lee's gonna win, no, Gaara's gonna win, no, Lee's gonna win for sure. And then we find out that Lee didn't even manage to land a single strike on Gaara because he was protected by that sand shield, man. How strong can you get? I was like, what the hell? Can Jonins even beat this kid? This kid, this chucking looking crazy kid, is insane, man. And that's where he started to show us his insane side. I mean, he started beforehand in the Forest of Death by smushing that guy into a pile of bloody rain. But man, it was so epic when he picked up that umbrella and just covered himself from not getting stained by that guy's leftovers. Jesus Christ, that's right, I said leftovers. That's how brutal this show became quickly after they introduced Orochimaru to us. If that doesn't tell us enough about his character, I don't know what will, guys. But moving on ahead, Gaara destroyed Lee, and we got that speech from Guy Sensei and Jesus Christ. So after all of that, we got a small break. Naruto was training for the finals. He was actually set up to fight Neji. He swore an oath to beat him because of what he did to Hinata. And man, what an oath it was. He actually took Hinata's blood from the floor and swore. And that just reminded me of the fact that I forgot to mention his epic speech and his determination when he stabbed himself in the arm at the beginning. When the Zabuza arc was just starting, he froze up and then he continued on to stab himself, and he actually made an oath, like against Neji, where he vowed to win. In the beginning, he vowed to never back down again. And he didn't. He actually saved Kakashi from that watery bubble against Zabuza with Sasuke in an epic fashion. And it took some cojones on his part. For those who don't understand Spanish, that's balls. So yeah, amazing. Quickly the finals came and it started off in an amazing fashion. Neji versus Naruto right off the bat. It seemed like Neji was gonna win. He delivered every blow. He introduced us with that formation, like 64 palms or whatever it was. That Byakugan is insane. I'd still choose Byakugan over Sharingan. Prove me wrong in the comments. Nevertheless, that fight was insane. The delivery, the way Neji took that speech thing to a whole nother level by telling us his true backstory, and it was so sad, man. I cried again because Jesus Christ, he was a bird in a cage, and they symbolized that so well, guys. But then Naruto, with his uppercut and his demon power, quickly turned over the match and delivered an even more amazing speech by telling him that we all create our own destiny and that we're not actually born to become somebody, that you need to put in that work, guys, and that if he tried, he can actually turn it around. And what actually made me have all those goosebumps was the fact that when they were fighting and they delivered that final clash of epicness, right in the center of it, Naruto said not if, but when I become Hokage, I'm gonna change the Hyuga clan, and just continued to clash with Neji. And that was everything, guys. It just got chills all over. Jesus Christ, that scene was amazing. Now, like we all know, he continued on to beat Neji and actually change this guy's whole persona and personality. And man, I loved Neji before, but now I love him even more. Like, wow. And then we get a quick scene of Neji and the leader of the Hyuga clan actually burying the hatchet. He explained the whole situation, how his father wanted to die, how he actually volunteered for his brother, and that also made me cry. Like, man, Now thinking about it, I cried a whole lot during this show. Like just bawling out, man. Just so after the Neji fight, after the failure stood tall, being Naruto, we continued to even more amazing battles, such as the Mario versus Shikamaru, where we find out that our boy has an IQ over 9,000. I was so caught off guard with that. I was like, oh my god, that is a dope concept. Like he beat her without breaking a sweat. That brain of his was amazing, not gonna lie. So after that, we quickly turned to Gaara versus Sasuke, and that battle was something else. We learned that Gaara has something new up his sleeve. Sasuke has something new up his sleeve. Now a whole lot of stuff was happening there that I'm not gonna get into detail, cause again I'll be talking for like 2 hours just about that. But yeah, Gaara was getting more and more unstable. Sasuke actually managed to stab him with the lightning blade. Everything dispersed. The whole sand barrier bubble thing dispersed, and everything went to shit in a matter of seconds. The war broke loose. The Sand Ninja and Sound Ninja were attacking the lift. They broke through the wall, summoned Orochimaru snakes. We quickly learned that it was all out chaos. Chunin exams were cancelled. Gaara, Temari, and Kakuro went on ahead because apparently they needed Gaara for something, which I still didn't understand at that point. And Sasuke went on ahead to try to stop them. Everything was happening so fast. We see Guy and Kakashi working together, beating the crap out of the enemy. I always enjoy that. It was an amazing sequence, but then we learned that the Kazekage was actually Orochimaru. Orochimaru infiltrated the village and decided to deliver on the promise that if anybody did anything to deprive him of his fun, it would mean the end of the Leaf Village, guys. And the way he infiltrated the village was crazy. He actually killed the Kazekage. Come on, man. Come on, man. How badass can you get? And the Kazekage was actually Gaara's dad. Like everything was happening. Everything was all over the place. It was just wow. I was just happy to be there. I was just wow, this was wow, like oh wow. Literally like a young child, I was watching it and just having the time of my life. And it was just like 2 months ago. Amazing. So yeah, they continued on with the Hiruzen versus Orochimaru barrier fight. That was amazing as well, because he summoned the first and second Hokage against him. That jutsu needed some explaining. Thank you guys again, because you helped me a lot to better understand the fight, because I was confused for the most part. That battle was insane, guys. I enjoyed it very much. The ending was brutal and it was very sad when we lost Hiruzen. But the way they did all that, like simultaneously as the Hokage was fighting Orochimaru, Sasuke and Naruto were actually trying to save Sakura from Gaara. Gaara was getting more unstable, and then he quickly leveled up again and became that monster, and then just continued to body everybody. And then Naruto said, "I'ma beat the living crap out of you for touching Sakura." And then he did something nobody thought he was gonna do, and that's beat Gaara. Man, the amount of effort and potential and strength and ability and overall greatness that Naruto delivered in that fight. Even Sasuke was like, Naruto, how the hell are you able to do this, man? The man summoned Gamabunta, transformed him into Demon Fox, and continued on to clever the guy with his bare head, man. He head bumped the living crap out of him, woke him up. That sand monster thing went back inside Gaara, and the whole battle was over. But Naruto wasn't done. He started to worm himself back into the battle, trying to get to Gaara, and Gaara was like, "Stay away!" You know? And that was everything, guys. As the simultaneous battles from Orochimaru and Sarutobi to Naruto and Gaara, the epic speeches, the way Naruto delivered the final head bump, and Sarutobi at the same time talking about the Will of Fire, I believe. I just rewatched that episode. Like, that was amazing. Like the way they just kept switching it up, and you know, and like Sarutobi telling Orochimaru like, you might kill me here, but the will of fire will live on in others. And they actually switch it up to the scene where Naruto's all gutsy like, I've had it with you, and just head bumps him and everything. Man, amazing. Again, I could be talking about the details of these fights for days, guys, for days. Amazing. Period. Amazing. Perfection. But of course, we lose Sarutobi here, and we were left off without the Hokage. Orochimaru is left off without hands. The barrier disperses, and his henchmen quickly continue to retreat with Orochimaru. Jiraiya arrives, and of course the epic scene. We find out that the village was waiting to actually get everybody into the shelter to begin the counterattack, and what a counterattack it was. We find out the abilities of Ino's dad, Shikamaru's dad, and Choji's dad, and they're also alike, guys. The way they disposed of all those sand ninja and sound ninja and just swept over the whole village and just ran them out of it. Amazing, guys. The counterattack, the music, the soundtrack. Don't let me start on the soundtracks, guys. Those soundtracks are deliberately constructed to make me cry. Those soundtracks are deliberately constructed to make me cry, man. That's how I rate this show from now on. If the soundtrack is with us, I know everything's gonna be fine. If it's sad, I know it's not gonna be fine. I hope they continue that concept in Shippuden. I don't know, but man, like this show so far, I was enjoying myself so much, guys. So freaking much. Now let's just continue on ahead. Now I forgot to mention that between the third stage of the Chunin exams and the final stage, we kind of met Jiraiya. He returned in an epic fashion. He was perverted AF. He was, man, I'm not gonna talk that much about him because I love his character. He's also uplifting like Guy and Lee and Naruto and Goofy and amazing. Let's continue on ahead. In episode 80, I think, all of you started to lose your freaking minds because apparently one badass entered the village, and that one person was Itachi Uchiha, and he did not come alone, guys. He brought a friend, and his friend was as strong as he was. They were actually portrayed as these badass characters, and they did not disappoint. You guys went loose on the comment section, like spoilers all over the place. My friends were like, what the hell is going on? Of course they understood you because they're huge Itachi fans themselves. I didn't know what all the fuss was about because in the beginning I actually have to admit that I thought that Itachi was just some badass looking character, you know, and that everybody was hyped because he's strong, but you know, there wasn't really any depth to it. And if you know me, you know that I love depth in the character, and that's why in the beginning I wasn't feeling him. But later on, when we saw a glimpse of his backstory, him interacting with his parents and father and mother and Sasuke, I got a sense that he's one of the deepest characters in this show. So now I'm quickly becoming a fan, and I can't wait to see more of him. But in the very beginning, like I said, I thought he was amazing. He was strong. The way he kicked Kakashi around like he was nothing, putting him into that genjutsu, stabbing him a million times in that warped world he created. You guys explained all of this in the comments. Thank you again, because that was also confusing AF, okay? It was so confusing, but nonetheless, I thought he was a strong character, a good character. He looked so badass, the way they drew him, like, and that entrance when he unbuttons his thing with his arm and his eyes, and he's like, Jesus Christ. That was amazing. That was epic. So yeah, at this point I learned that this show has no chill, and right after the amazing arc where Hiruzen dies and Naruto beats Gaara and Hiruzen's funeral, which was very sad. I'm not even gonna get into that. They didn't have any chill. They just continued on and raised the stakes and the bar even higher by introducing Itachi Uchiha and his friend Kisame, I think that's right, Kisame, like amazing. And they just showed us the difference between the power levels of characters such as Kakashi, that till that point we thought was the strongest of the bunch, but then Itachi swoops in and beats the living crap out of him without lifting a finger, guys. He made that look like it was so easy, okay? Like it was so easy. But of course, we quickly find out why Itachi was there, and it wasn't for Sasuke as I initially thought. It was actually because of Naruto and his demon fox. So yeah, when Sasuke found that out, man, the whole hell broke loose. The way he found it, that pissed me off. The way he found out, like him being in the room with that guy entering and just spewing all the irrefutable facts right in front of Sasuke. And Sasuke, man, he lost his mind when he found out that Itachi was in the village actually looking for Naruto. And Sasuke again displayed here the fact that he cared about Naruto. He was worried. He went and searched the entire village, actually went on ahead and went after Naruto to find him and Jiraiya and warn him and protect him. And that's where we actually get an epic clash between Sharingan versus Sharingan, and we actually see that Sasuke can't even compare to Itachi. He takes him out with ease, actually telling him that sentence that he kept on repeating every time he appeared on screen. And I think it goes something like, your head is not strong enough, you're not strong enough, cling to your wretched life. I think I'm confusing the flashbacks with the speech, but nonetheless, you guys probably remember it. Yeah, that was something. He continued beating him. He actually broke his arm and put him into a hospital, and continued on to put him in the same genjutsu as before, making him relive him killing their parents and the whole village, and just the traumatic backflash of all that put Sasuke in the hospital. And when he woke up, he wasn't the same, guys. And we quickly learned, and I quickly understood what was going on. We got the backstory, like Sasuke's backstory, the flashbacks and everything. It explained the despair in Sasuke, why he was the way he was, why they betrayed Sasuke from the very beginning, wanting to kill a certain person. Like, I didn't understand it back then, but at that moment I understood it, and I understood it quickly, and I empathized with him, and I couldn't even imagine myself being in that situation. And actually realizing that after all these years his brother returned to the village, but not to see him, not to seek him, but his friend that he was already getting jealous about and already getting worried about Naruto surpassing him, being better than him. You know, he was already getting frustrated, and he was starting to build up this pent-up hate. And now his brother that killed everybody he ever loved comes back and puts him in his place yet again, and shows him that he's not ready for that challenge. He's not ready to take on his brother that everybody in the whole village and around the world is afraid of. And that just breaks Sasuke, his whole psyche. And when he wakes up, he's not the same. Like, he's not the same. And of course later on we find out the real backflash of all of that, Sasuke leaving and all. But I'm getting off topic. After all of that, Jiraiya appears and actually chases Kisame and Itachi away by displaying that epic jutsu. Jiraiya actually has a few epic jutsu, like bring down the house jutsu. That was so epic and hype, like bring down the house jutsu, and this gigantic toad pops up and destroys half of the village, man. It was so huge, amazing. And in that sequence he actually summons a toad's mouth. Like, what the hell? I think it was a mountain toad or something like that. And that's the first time we see that Itachi has some strange abilities, like the one he used to stab Kakashi repeatedly for that amount of time. And this time he actually used his eyes to break through the wall by, I don't know, summoning these black flames. They made all the fuss about that. So yeah, continuing on ahead, the next arc was Jiraiya and Naruto going on a mission to train Naruto, but the real mission was to find a new Hokage, that being aka Tsunade, none other than the third Sunny that we haven't met yet. But before that, Jiraiya was actually asked to be the next Hokage, but he turned down the elders, and I respect him for it. He was like, that's not for me, I just wanna relax and write my books and just make everybody else's day happy, you know. So he introduced an alternative, that being Tsunade, and him and Naruto quickly went on ahead in search for her. And we soon find out that Orochimaru is also looking for her, but for a completely different reason. He was trying to heal his hands, which blew my mind. I was like, man, this guy is not letting up. I mean, he just keeps repeatedly coming, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. He's such a good villain, guys. The voice, the soundtrack, the epicness every time he enters the room, the tongue, man. I can talk an hour about the tongue alone, man. Like, I haven't seen such a great villain in a long time. He has everything. He's smart, he's sadistic, you know, he's satanic, he's everything. Like, just, he's everything. I don't want to fanboy about Orochimaru for an entire video, so we're just gonna skip on ahead. So in this arc, we learned two great things. First thing being the Rasengan. Like, that jutsu was amazing. It's an equivalent to Chidori, which is awesome. I really wanted Naruto to get a flashy move like Sasuke, and he really did. So we get a training montage between Naruto and Jiraiya. They had a few great moments up in there. They actually reminded me that Naruto was all alone, because Jiraiya kept insisting that he trained alone, that he had to do this on his own. That was kind of sad, but later on I understood why he did it, and you guys helped me understand it. He didn't want to pamper him. He really did have to go through that process alone, and we found out that it kind of did break Jiraiya's heart to do that to him, but he knew it was necessary, especially in the world they lived in. Anyway, moving on ahead, later on, the Tsunade, Orochimaru, Jiraiya face off. I think they called it like a deadlock or something like that, and Kabuto appeared again. Naruto saving a day by just actually managing to hit Kabuto with the Rasengan, but then we quickly find out how amazing Kabuto really is. He started to regenerate himself, but then he fell down because the impact of that Rasengan was so great. Naruto managed to damage him more than Kabuto was prepared for. Anyway, guys, yeah, we also find that Tsunade was briefly nerfed by that blood thing, but she quickly overcame it, and the way she was introduced by breaking that wall and showing her fierce strength, guys, that was everything. I loved Tsunade. I really love her character. It's another badass female character. We need more of those. Amazing, guys, simply amazing. I love Tamari as well. I love female characters putting male characters in their place in this show. Like, we need more of that. Orochimaru doesn't get what he wants, but he informs us that there's another way, and I quickly learned that he means Sasuke's body, and that's just insane. Like, I finally understood why Orochimaru wanted him in the first place, why he bit him. He was actually preparing him for that moment, and it's so dope, because when you think about it, the show told me early on in which direction it's gonna go. I just chose to not listen, so I was really surprised when the overall flow of the show changed yet again at the end when Sasuke went on ahead to Orochimaru. I was like, what the hell is going on, and why is it going on? And until the last second I believed that Naruto's gonna find a way to bring him back, but no. The show yet again did a 360 on us, and Sasuke is gone, guys, and it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait. I can't freaking wait for Shippuden to see how is this all gonna, like, what? We get a 2-year time skip, which is amazing. They're gonna grow. That's gonna be something else, guys. That's gonna be something else. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But moving on, bringing Tsunade back to the village, she becomes the next Hokage, the 5th Hokage, and what an amazing ceremony that was. But we get to see Konohamaru again, and it was a very sad sequence when he goes into his Gramps' office and then kind of locks himself in and makes this whole tantrum about his grandpa being replaced. And man, the tears are just, man, they're coming on their own just by thinking about it. It's such a dope way they kind of, you know, brought that whole thing around to episode 2 when Konohamaru was actually complaining about the fact that nobody sees him. Everybody sees him as an honorable grandson, and he wanted to change that, and that's actually the reason why he kept on attacking his gramps. He wanted to prove to everybody that he's his own person. But then when his gramps died and they brought that Tsunade to be the next Hokage, you know what he said? He said that soon everybody's gonna forget his gramps, and that nobody's gonna call him the honorable grandson anymore. The thing that he hated the most is actually the thing that he missed the most, right after his gramps, of course. And that's just the way they brought it back full circle. I was amazed. I was like, wow, man, wow. And I think this was actually the filler episode, like a mixed filler or something like that. Like, I still don't understand that concept, but nevertheless, I'm watching it all. Some on the channel, some on my own time, but I'm enjoying it all, guys. Amazing. So the next arc was the Sasuke retrieval arc, and that arc blew my mind. I was like, what the hell is going on? I was so sure they were gonna bring him back, but wow, this show is so unpredictable. That's what I love about it. That's why I love about it, because I can use 100% of my brain, and I still am not able to predict in which direction this show is gonna go next, man. Because they're just switching the flow. Like, they're not going linear. They're like this, and then they're like all over the place, guys, all over the place. So our squad devises a team. Tsunade sends in our rookies to go after Sasuke, and what an amazing team it was. We quickly learned that Shikamaru was the only one who was promoted to Chunin, so he was chosen to be the leader of this group. The village was at this time the village was in distress, so no jonin were available. They need to like make face with other villages so we don't get attacked again, we don't seem weak to the outside world. So they dispatch a bunch of rookies led by Shikamaru, a newly decorated Chunin, and he was actually given a free choice on which genin he was about to bring, and he brought Choji, Neji, Kiba, Naruto, and himself. And wow, guys, wow, he had a plan and everything, and they just went for it. But the Sound Ninja 5, man, the Sound Ninja 4, but later on we learned that there was a fifth member. They were just too strong, man. They went back for Sasuke and actually made him make up his mind. Finally, they made him realize that his future isn't in the Leaf Village, actually out there taking a risk with Orochimaru, so he can gain the necessary power to have a chance to stand up to his brother. And man, like, Kakashi tried to like deliver a speech, and he did. It was very sad to learn that Kakashi had a sad backstory as well. All his friends died and everything, but that story was just not enough. He didn't take the time to actually understand Sasuke, the fact that he was dreaming about this moment and the revenge and killing of his brother for most of his life. He didn't take the time to like really understand the impact of those words that Sasuke spoke the first time we were introduced to him, like the pain he felt every day for staying alive when all the others died. You know, he didn't understand why Itachi left him alive, and my theory was, and kind of still is, that he left him alive to fight him one day. And you know, because when you think about it, Sasuke is the only one who has the Sharingan and only one who has the potential to be a challenge to his brother, you know. So yeah, but actually later on learning about the backstory of Itachi and Sasuke and everything, man, depth of Itachi's character really made me think, and now I'm not so sure anymore. I think he's a very complex character, and I'm gonna need more information if I was to dissect the overall tone around his character, you know. So after all of that, Sasuke went on ahead and deserted the village, but Sakura had a sixth sense, and she actually caught up to him at the gate and continued to pour her soul out. Guys, you can't imagine, like, I was like, what the hell is happening? I would have never predicted that she would do something as ballsy as that. Guys, do you know how much courage you need to have? So I gotta give her credit where credit is due, and you know, she poured her soul out and it didn't work. His hate was too much, his longing for revenge was too much. But I personally think that the small fact that he took the time to whisper to her and you know, to lay her down on the bench before he knocked her the hell out, you know, I think that was sweet, and I think that showed us that he really cared about her and about Naruto. He just, at that point in time, he just couldn't really express it in a healthy way. He had his own thing and he had to go. He felt the calling and saw a bigger picture, and he was just, this is my life. I'm an Avenger and I need to do this right now. So yeah, I kind of get it. At first I didn't. I was like, why are you doing this? What is going on? But you guys made me realize that he wasn't really hurting anybody, and he didn't ask for anybody to go after him, and nobody in the village was actually offering him an alternative. So this was his only choice to get stronger. He saw that Kakashi couldn't pair up to his brother and that he needed somebody stronger to train him, even if that meant that he needs to risk going to Orochimaru, someone as villainous and as sadistic as him. He was determined to put all his cards on the line, and he did, and he went on ahead, and he surprised the hell out of me because I really wasn't expecting that, guys. I really wasn't. So we continued on ahead with Choji having the battle of his life, actually dying. Well, we later on learned that he survived, but at the moment where I really thought that he was dead, man, I was crying my soul out. I can't believe they made this show really made me feel so much for Choji in such a small amount of time. That's just insane, guys. That's just insane. Neji actually fought next, and he also fought a fight of his life. He actually declared that this guy was the strongest he ever fought, Kidomaru, and I gotta give props to that guy. He was really strong. The curse marks, the second state, that was, if it wasn't Neji, I don't think anybody could have been able to beat that spider guy. Like, that guy was strong, you know? So Kiba fought Sakon and Ukon. That was also creepy as F. Like, the two heads, two bodies, the guy can get inside your body like that. The whole concept was dope, not gonna lie, but it was freaky AF, like, Jesus Christ. And Shikamaru actually fought Yuya, no surprise. He seems to be enjoying being surrounded by all the women all the time, like even being saved by women in the end. Like, amazing, guys, simply amazing. And of course Naruto actually getting the casket at one point, but then Kimimaro arrived and whole hell broke loose again. And wow, man, Naruto started to fight him. He was actually in his enraged state already, but Kimimaro didn't even blink. He shut him down like that, which is to show how strong he really was, considering the fact that he was sick. You know, he was sick, he was already diminished. His power was like 50% down, and still he was able to make a fool out of Naruto. But to my surprise, and probably to surprise all you guys when you first watched, my boy Lee was on the scene, man. Right after his surgery, my boy Lee went on ahead after our guys, and he went in like a G, saving Naruto. And sometime later into the fight, we actually learned that when he drinks an elixir, when he drinks alcohol, his mind goes bonkers, and he discovers the drunken fist and continues to be even more strong. I actually really enjoy the comedic part when Guy Sensei makes it all look so dramatic, like, you do not understand the level of insanity that Lee portrays when he's in this state. Like, I really appreciated a bit of comedy in there, because man, for the most part, it was just pure sadness and death, and man, I couldn't take it anymore. I was broken for some time after Choji and Neji seemingly died. Jesus, man, Jesus, you guys saw me, like, I was devastated. But then they brought it all around, and of course Lee wasn't enough. He was also kind of nerfed because he did have that spinal surgery, which was no joke. He quickly sobered up, and Kimimaro continued to finish him, but to my surprise again, another mind-blowing moment got appeared at the same time as Kankura and Tamari on various battlefields, and they actually saved our boys. That's right, they saved their lives, and the fact that you guys didn't spoil that for me, that's thank you guys once again, because I was able to appreciate that moment even more, not seeing it coming. Like, it really caught me off guard, and I'm sure the reaction was better for you guys as well. And thank you. Continue to be so kind and generous, and actually not spoiling on purpose, and you know, that's everything, guys. Our relationship is amazing. I love my community, I really do. But then we continue on ahead. like Gaara beating Kimimaro, but we learned that if Kimimaro wasn't sick, he would have killed Gaara and Lee, and with ease, if I may add, because even in that state, if he didn't die when he did, Gaara would have been done for. If he died 3 seconds later, he would have pierced Gaara right through his head, and that would be it. Maybe Lee would have survived, but not Gaara. So yeah, Kimimaro was no joke, guys. But in this little Kimimaro arc and flashbacks, we actually got a few insanely good speeches. First from Orochimaru, when we saw Kimimaro's backstory and why he joined Orochimaru and why he became so, attached to him. And the sentence that really stuck to me was the one that Orochimaru said, like, maybe this world and life doesn't have a purpose, but if you linger on a bit longer, you just might find that one thing that is worth sticking around for. And I believe that's exactly what Kimimaro found in Orochimaru, just like Haku found in Zabuza, a purpose. Someone precious to him, somebody he would put his life on the line for, and that's something that our boy Naruto taught us as well, guys. Like, when you fight for somebody else, you get to be way more powerful than when you just fight for yourselves. Man, what I love about this show is the fact that most of this can actually be interpreted in real life as well. You can actually take real life lessons from this show and embed it in your real life. Like, amazing. And also, one of the most amazing speeches was the one between Gaara and Lee. Like, I would have never guessed that these two would actually converse in such a manner after what Gaara did to him. But man, Gaara saying that, sometimes even bad company is more preferable than loneliness, guys. And ain't that the truth, eh? Like, amazing. I was out of breath by the end of that arc. Like, I was, wow, man, what the hell? How do they keep blowing my mind up? And after all of that, we of course finished with a bang again. Sasuke versus Naruto. That fight was insane. Like, the whole fighting sequence was insane, but what really got to me was the speeches. And when Sasuke delivered that speech about Naruto not being able to understand him because he never had the family, he never understood that bond. He really didn't, when you think about it. That didn't even occur to me. Like, yes, Naruto was all alone like Sasuke, but he didn't have that initial bond because he grew up alone. He grew up without parents. I still don't know what happened to his parents, but I'm guessing they're probably gonna explain it in Shippuden. But Sasuke did have that bond. He had a brother and a mother, a father and a village, a cousins, uncle, auntie, everybody. He had a whole community of his people. And then one day, out of the blue, he had them all ripped out of his life. And for what? For his brother to tell him, I just wanted to test the limits of my power? You seriously gonna tell me? You seriously gonna stand there and tell me that you wouldn't act like Sasuke is? Maybe even crazier if that happened to you. Like, his backstory, Gaara's backstory, Neji's backstory, it's such, man, it's insane, man. I can't decide. I think Sasuke might actually have the saddest backstory. Because when you think about it, let it sink in, man. His own brother. We saw in the flashbacks what a great relationship they had. We saw that Sasuke looked at him and saw a role model, somebody he looked up to, somebody he aspired to be like, even better, to surpass him, somebody he thought could never do wrong because everybody praised him. And to have that person that you were so close to take everything and everyone you ever loved away from you forever, and then go on ahead living, and you're left alone in this miserable existence filled with darkness and loneliness and emptiness, and you're not able to understand what happened. Even you don't know, you weren't given a real reason behind all of it. Like, I'm so frustrated myself, just not knowing why the hell he did, because there's no way he did it just to test the limits of his power. I saw it in the backstories. There is something more happening there. Something happened there. I need them to explain. If I'm this frustrated, can you imagine Sasuke? Can you imagine him actually living through all of that? That is insane, guys. That is a literal insanity. And man, the overall strength of mind that you need to have to not go insane is unthinkable, you know? Because I can completely understand why Sasuke is the way he is right now. Because he was reminded of all of that. Because if you remember, Itachi put him yet again in that genjutsu, making him relive that moment again. And it all got back to him, guys. Like everything, every single detail, like it just happened again. Like his brother came back into his life out of the blue and reminded him that he's an Avenger, that he needs to do this. And when I think about it, no wonder he went out ahead, because Jesus Christ, man, who wouldn't seek power and revenge and I'm not even gonna get into it. Like the whole concept is so complex, and I really can't wait to see how is it all gonna end, man. Because you guys are so excited for Shippuden, so I can only guess that it's gonna be epic. And let's just continue on ahead. Naruto versus Sasuke. Sasuke actually manages to beat him and leaves his headband behind. And you guys actually told me in the comments, I kind of missed that. I'm sorry about that. That during the last clash between the second state, crazy looking Sasuke Chidori versus that Fox Demon Rasengan state, and that final clash between them, like Sasuke was going in for the kill and Naruto was actually going for the headband, because in the beginning Sasuke told him that he wasn't even going to be able to put a scratch on his headband, and that was actually Naruto's way of showing him that if he really wanted to, he could have done more damage. But no, that was enough for him, because he, like on the hospital roof when they fought, Naruto didn't really want to fight him like that. Like even in that first fight, they didn't go in that fight with the same mentality, you know. Sasuke was always going for the kill while Naruto wasn't. But in the end, Sasuke had his chance. And in the flashbacks and in the back of Sasuke's mind, Itachi was telling him that he needs to heal his best friend to get stronger. But no, Sasuke actually said, no, I'm gonna do this my way, not the way you told me that I have to. And he spared Naruto. Now, I am interpreting that as Sasuke caring for Naruto, and he actually couldn't bear to break that bond completely, you know, between them two. But some of you guys told me in the comments that that had nothing to do with it, and that he actually just wanted to fight his brother, and that's the only reason why he didn't finish Naruto off. Nevertheless, I'm gonna choose to interpret it my way, because I really don't want to think that Sasuke just doesn't give a shit about Naruto at all. But hey, if that's the case, it is what it is. And we continued on with the filler arc. You guys hated me for it, but I kind of enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed the part when they showed a brief moment of Sasuke standing aside Orochimaru, and he kind of looked a bit older and his eyes were a bit crazier. So I'm gonna leave a little clip here to actually see that moment for those who don't like the fillers and didn't watch them. Look at this perfection.
The younger brother of Itachi Uchiha.
Really?
Yes, and also my...
Some things are better left unsaid.
Man, that was cool. Anyway, after the whole filler arc, which I utterly enjoyed, I actually watched the whole thing. I recorded even more of the episodes, but I didn't render them or upload them because you guys were like, get to Shippuden already, so I kind of picked up the pace. So I might be uploading some episodes later on, I might not, I don't know, I'll see, but I do have some in reserve. I actually really enjoyed the Anko arc, like her backstory with Orochimaru and what happened. That was also in the filler arc, so if I didn't watch it, I wouldn't get any backstory on her, and I enjoyed her character, the way she was introduced, the second stages of the tuning exams, like the way she entered through the window and with that curtain and all, I thought that was badass, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, after the whole filler arc and everything, we get to episode 220, when we find out yet again that Naruto is going to go train and Sakura is also going to train, and everybody is actually inspired by Naruto and is actually sad that Naruto is gonna leave with Jiraiya for 2 years to train, which shows what bond they created over the years, because in the beginning all of them didn't really get along with each other, but now it's like they're all a big family. They were all like, we need to train as hard as Naruto, we can't get that punk get the best of us, you know. And I love that. I love how they're motivating each other. I love it all. I love the foreshadowing. I love the way they foreshadow the training. I love it. I loved everything about that last episode, you know. And Jiraiya telling him that they had 2 years, that he actually researched that clan that was after Naruto, and that they're gonna move in on him in about 2 years. I really didn't understand the reasoning behind it, but hey, as long as we get 2 years to train, I'm not gonna complain. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what Shippuden is gonna be like. Actually gonna be jumping into Shippuden in 2 to 3 days. It all depends how long it takes me to render this video and upload for you guys. So yeah, keep in mind that I'm not in Belgrade anymore. I'm gonna have to get some new equipment so I can record here, because I'm gonna have to, because I'm kind of stuck here. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little review. I didn't go that much into detail because I wanted to go over the entire season in one take. But man, guys, I have so much to say about this first season. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm really, really enjoying this show. And yeah, speaking of foreshadowing, I'm gonna finish this off by watching a little teaser for Shippuden. I'm gonna be jumping into Shippuden probably right after this, so it's not a big deal. My friends told me that it doesn't contain a lot of spoilers, it's just a teaser. So let's check out this teaser, and then I'm gonna end it off on that note, guys. Let's do it. Okay guys, let's watch this teaser together. Yeah. I'm excited, man. I want to get as hyped as I possibly can for the Shippuden journey, so bear with me, guys. Let's go.
It's been 2 years since they left.
2
The day
years?
of battle draws near. The hunters have closed in on their prey. Time won't stand still for one
Woo!
young boy.
Naruto looks different.
The Akatsuki are on the move, and
They're on the
Orochimaru is
move.
putting the finishing touches on his forbidden reanimation.
And
jutsu.
Orochimaru,
The
man.
time has come. To regain what was lost, the boy must do battle once again.
The boy must
He
do
must
battle
ride the
once
winds
again.
of fate and endure. Next time, Homecoming.
Woo! Man, Homecoming? Jesus Christ. Oh, I just got chills all over, man. The boy must do battle again, yet again, man. Oh my god, they mentioned Orochimaru, they mentioned Akatsuki, that's the clan that's after Naruto. Like, yeah, that mere fact that everything is happening yet again simultaneously, like 2 years for Orochimaru to do that jutsu on Sasuke, and 2 years for Naruto to train before those guys get to him. Man, I just got hyped, man. I just got hyped. If you enjoy my reactions, feel free to share, subscribe, like, leave a comment, ring that bell for notifications, guys. Follow me on Instagram. And as always, see you till next time. Bye, guys.